Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Tuesday's class lesson on topic 27, data 2, page 168. And before we start data 168, I'm going to go back to our challenge on page 167. The average of a list of 6 numbers is 20. If we remove one of the numbers, the average of the remaining number is 15. What is the number that was removed? So basically, what I did here was, if the average of 6 numbers is 20, well then to get the full number, it's 6 by 20, which is 120. And if you divide the 120 by the 6 numbers, you end up with 20. So 20 by 620. And then if you remove one of the numbers, you end up with 5 numbers. And it says here that the average number when you remove one of them is 15. So to get the total of that number is 15 by 5, which is 75. And then what is the number which was removed? Well, that's quite easily done. It is the 120 take away 75 to get the difference, and that's 45. So guys, do you see how easy that was? Now, this is question 2. A class of 25 students took a science test. 10 of the students had an average score of 80. The other students had an average score of 60. What is the average score of the total of the whole class? So 10 students had an average of 80, which means total of 800. Then if you take 10 from the total number of children in the class, the students, you end up with 15. And 15 students remaining had an average of 60. And when you total that, it's 15 by 6, which is 90, and add your 0 because you're multiplying by 6 tens. 900. To get the total, then you add 900 and 800, which is 1700 or 1700 if you put the comma, units, tens, hundreds, and the comma before the 7. And then 25 into 1700. And we have our little 0 in the dungeon. Maeve, you'll be delighted to know. It's a pity. I know you're missing having to drag it down as you always do in our class. But anyway, 25 into 170. And don't mind Anna, just tell her. Just leave us alone. 25 into 170 is 6 times. So 6 by 25, and that is 150. Now, Mary committed a mortal sin there in maths because I forgot my minus. So you take it away to see what you've left, the 20. And here you go, Maeve. You drag that 0 down from the dungeon, and it becomes 200. And then how many times does 25 go into 200? And we know that 25 into 100 goes 4 times, so therefore it goes into 200 8 times. And you multiply the 8 by the 25, and you end up with 200. And when you take them away, you end up with the nada. And that is your total. 25 into 1,700 or 1,700 is 68. And that was the average score of the total of the whole class. Okay, now we're going to zoom in on 168, a lot of zoomers lately. 36 children in 5th class were asked about how they came to school every day. The results were displayed in a bar chart and a pie chart. We'll discuss what you see. So you have your bar chart there, you have your X and Y axis, you have your information, you have your scale, your interval. 1 is to 2, it's going up in 2s. And then if you look across, you have a pie chart, which is like a pizza or a lovely cake, and you have your color-coded key, walk, cycle, car, bus, taxi. And remember, the total number of degrees in that circle is 360, so you're actually dividing your circle into different sectors because you're coming from the center. Obviously a segment is different. If you remember when we were doing the circle there a good few weeks ago at this stage, guys. Anyway, so it says, what are the similarities and difference between the pie chart and the bar chart? So, well, the same information is displayed, but just in a little bit of a different format. And, you can see more, well, I suppose when you look at walk cycle, you see the bar charts go up vertically and the number of children is given. Whereas if you look at your pie chart there, there is no actual number there given, but it's divided into degrees. So 360 is the full, the total number of degrees. Imagine 3,600 children were asked about their way of coming to school. Would you prefer to use pie chart? Sorry, hold on, guys. Would you prefer? That's my son. He's on a call to his friend. I apologize, guys. Sorry, sweetheart. Please go away. Would you put it down on the floor? Oh my God. So would you prefer to use, I can't take this again, guys, I'm going to go for it. Would you prefer to use a bar chart or a pie chart? Oh, I'm so sorry, guys. This is what you call homeschooling and trying to record stuff online. I think my face has gone red. Give a reason for your choice. So I don't even know what I'm talking about. Imagine 3,600 children with their way to school. Okay, what would you prefer to use? A bar chart or a pie chart? Guys, it all depends on where you're displaying the information and whether you prefer to see it as it's very condensed in a pie chart, but for instant visual. But when you look at the bar chart, I suppose I prefer bar charts because personally, the pie chart, yes, instantly. The bar chart, then you just have a little more detail without having to look anywhere else. You've got the color in the same chart with the scale and the info. Whereas in the pie chart, you kind of had to look. You look at the pie chart and then you look to the side. But at the same time, I must say, sometimes they have percentages within the pie chart and they're put on the sectors within the pie chart. So pie charts are often used in newspapers and magazines and by businesses. Why? Can you find some examples? So, well, you can look in examples in any of the newspapers or even on some online articles, and they're used to represent information. Okay, and I suppose takes up a little bit of less space, and it is instantly. You know, it's you can, I suppose, obtain a lot of information, or not a lot, but like instantly you see information because you can see the division of the sectors: large, small, tiny. The bar chart, however, look, it just is a little bit more informative as one piece of information. So look at the pie chart and answer the questions. So preferred sandwich fillings, and you have a color coded key down the side, which represents all the different types of sandwiches you can purchase, and which two sandwiches are more popular than a BLT. And just using the information from the pie chart, you're not given specifics, but you do know what's larger, how many people prefer certain sandwiches, and what's the least popular, just from looking at it. And then if you go to the pie chart to answer the questions, the most popular girls' names, so you have all the different color codes for the girls' names. And again, guys, you're not told how many girls, you just know that what is the most popular name, the least popular name, maybe two girls who have the same number, who are just as popular as each other. And you can actually measure it by using your protractor, and always start at 0 degrees if you really wanted to find out specifics. Okay, and that is percentage of the pie chart, which is the most popular, least popular, etc. And then down to B, look at the pie chart and answer the questions. What fraction of the class receives more than €20 per pocket per month in pocket money? So there's the pocket money received by fifth class, and so half the class, because it's a straight angle and that's half the pie chart, receives more than €20. Then the yellow, which is a quarter, is 15 to 19. Which is around 1500, and then the 10, the red is 10 to 14, and the green is less than €10. So what fraction? So you just have to answer those questions, and everything will be uploaded tomorrow, guys. Okay. Now we're going to go on for dessert, as they say, chapters 7 and 8. And give an example of an improper fraction. So remember, the number on the top of an improper fraction is always greater than the number on the bottom. And now change its improper fraction to a mixed number. A mixed number has a whole number and a fraction. And then convert these mixed numbers into improper fractions. So remember, improper fractions are where the numerator is greater than the denominator. So 13 by 4, add on your 5, and you must express that as a 13th, because it's over 13. The same with the 7ths, the 17ths, and the 18ths. And that is 17 over 18, guys. And then put in the correct sign, greater than, less than, or equals. So I would just convert the 4. I would convert the 4 and 2/3 to an improper fraction, and then work it out from there. Okay, and then simplify the following fractions. So simplify means breaking the fractions down into its simplest form. The simplest forms means they cannot be broken down any further. So I can hear noise in the background. I apologize profusely, but I ain't doing another take on this, guys. It's if you don't mind putting up with the shouting. This is called real life. This is what your mums or dads are listening to, and this is why I ask you just to be nice and quiet and polite and really good for your parents. It's probably just a cry for on behalf of myself. So
Put the following in order of greatest to lowest. Now, what I did there, guys, is I've done the page already. I actually broke all of those down to the simplest form and then worked from there. That's just a clue. If you don't want to do it that way, I mean, once you work it out yourself from the greatest to the lowest in value. But I'm telling you, if you break it down to simplest form, it makes working with the denominators much easier. Add the following. So we add the following here, and I want you to then break it down into its simplest form. So if it's, for example, 7 and 8 are 15 over 12, and then break it into a mixed fraction, and if you can, if the fraction can be broken down into its simplest form, please do that also. Add the following, and to add the following you have to find a common denominator. Remember, 12, we always start with the bigger of the two numbers. So here it's 12, so we know that will 6 go into 12? If it didn't go into 12, you'd have to go on again, 12 and 12, 24, would 6 go into that? But we know 6 goes into 12, and you carry on for that. And then, guys, would you ever please break it into all of them into their simplest form when completed? And again, 12 and 24, you always start with the larger of the two, which is 24, and then C is 24, a multiple of 12, etc. And then add the following. Always add the whole numbers first to get them out of the way, guys, so that you won't forget them. That's why I always insist on adding the whole numbers first when you have mixed fractions, because sometimes we tend to forget that they're there, and we just kind of focus in on the actual fractions themselves and forget about the whole numbers. So if you could do that, guys, and we'll have that uploaded for you as an answer tomorrow. And thanks a million, guys. And I really want to apologize for my my boy's outburst. He was zooming a friend, or what you call it, WhatsApping a friend, and he's allowed to have his tablet for a little while today. Okay, and that's why they're excited. So you know what I mean, lads. Okay, talk to you tomorrow, guys. Bye.